So, welcome again to my channel. My name is Beatriz, I come from Spain, and I have to tell you this because just in case it's the first time you're joining these conversations. So even though these conversations go about a little bit for myself, maybe it helps you too, and maybe you reflect on them. So that's why I thought, okay, if this is so nice that I can tell you a little bit of my story and what's going on, maybe this clinks also something for you and you think, okay, I am experiencing. So first of all, I excuse myself forever because of my language. Like, I'm learning English and it's not my first language, but thank you so much for understanding, and thank you so much for joining here another day. It took a little bit till I record a new video, but today I have something big to share. And my therapist always says, like, if you're nervous, don't be scared to show it, because you can be proud that you're nervous. It means that you're alive. So I'm fucking nervous today. I'm fucking sweating, but I'm going to trust the process and I'm going to trust everything, you know? So I'm going to just let it be and let's see how this goes. So, oh, Jesus, the theme of today. What is this? I was thinking, oh, jeez. All these last days I have been dealing somehow, you know, sometimes better, sometimes a little bit more stressful. It depends, because, you know, the mood is like this in the last months. I don't know what day is today, but you know, like, yeah. So I have been like having days where I'm really up and moments, even minutes where I'm really down. So I was thinking, okay, how can I be more honest with myself? Because sometimes I get like feelings or thoughts that trigger me a little bit, and I don't know where to put my feet. I mean, with this, that I don't know what I'm really feeling, and that's why I thought, okay, how can I be more clear and honest with myself to be able not just to live by myself, but to show up, you know? This is really important. And this means, like, for example, not showing up with a smile if I am not feeling so well. So that's why I intentionally show in the way I am feeling for real. So I was having some themas some days ago, because I was talking with a really close friend about that it's important that in social media, it doesn't matter if it's YouTube, I was going to say Spotify, but not yet, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, that you give people or that you show people what they truly want to see or hear, because you should not take their time. And I was thinking about that, you know, because in the first days I was not paying so much attention, but then I thought, fuck, if I share something with you from me and it takes like 12 minutes or it takes 2 minutes, you're always free to leave. And for me, this is also a process to get to know myself, you know, even though it's weird because I'm 27 and maybe this happens to you too. I don't know how old are you, but independently on your age, you think like, okay, this could happen to me, or this happens to me. So I thought, like, okay, it's about me, that I have to give them what I have, or maybe it's that I have to fake a little bit what I give you, or is that I cannot just give you some things because you don't expect them. And then I thought, look, this is at the end my channel, so if you want to stay here the minutes it takes, I'm going to respect and make maybe a little bit everything shorter. But yeah, I was thinking the main theme, like, how can I be more honest with myself? So because if I am not, I cannot pay attention on you, you know what I mean? So yeah. And then I thought, okay, how I'm going to do this? How I'm going to be at least in the middle, you know, so that I can show up and put content out that it honors me and that it's honest at the same time, so true, you know, that I don't have to fake anything. And this is really important because I'm creating my business right now, my creation, and it takes time and it takes evolution. So you cannot get stuck in the first point or thinking like, yeah, because I did it once, it means that it's well. No, you have to check out, like, do I need more help in these areas, or is really true that I can do this work? So, you know, it's really important. Because, you know, I told you some videos ago, I work with with embodiment, with breath work, and at the end this is really spiritual, and it goes about energy and how you flow and if you are fluent, and so it's something that you have to pay attention if you do that. So I realized there is one question that I want to share with you today. I consider this really interesting because I love simple things. It doesn't mean like it's not complex or that doesn't have taste or deepness. No, it's that if it's easy, you can understand it. I mean, we both can understand it, and it's really practical. So I was thinking how I'm going to be more honest with myself. This is a big issue. And maybe this question goes through your days too, like, okay, I'm doing the right thing for me. Is that I'm showing up just when I'm feeling well, or I just, for example, share videos. I always say this example, like videos from cats when I'm feeling fucked up, or somebody asked me, how are you doing? And I stay like, well, but I'm fucked up inside. So this is what I mean, like to be really honest and to be able to show up in the way you are feeling. And I realized this is a really big question because when you ask people, how are you doing or how are you? I know we have banalized this question so much that people get just triggered triggered by it. And it's like, if I tell him or if I tell her that it's not going well, she's going to feel bad for me or something. But at the end, I consider this is about myself. And if I don't feel well, but I don't want to say it, I don't want to talk no more, I can say like, I'm not feeling well, but I don't want to talk, thank you so much. So, it's about making the small switch a little bit. So the question is, 2 minutes later, what does it feel good for me? Or what does it feel gross for me? So, because if I am honoring myself, if I am being honest, and if I am authentic with everything I have here right now, I really know. And this is something you develop. This is not from one day to the next one. Like, I can know everything. Look, sometimes it takes time and practice, and you're going to find yourself, and this happens to me like this, where you are not paying attention to your body, so you are not honoring 100% or what you could do for you, or looking for the best in case you want to reach that. In case. It doesn't mean that you have to reach it. It depends on you. So I was asking myself that like, does this feel good for me? Even, for example, take this example. You're in a party and you're not feeling well there, or you're with friends and you don't feel well. What are you going to do? You're going to stay there because they want you to be there, or because you should stay there, or are you fucking leaving? Because I really know what I would do. And this took time. This took really much time. It's incredible. Maybe this happens to you too. Like, you think, is it real that I cannot decide? It takes time. You know why? Because nobody wants you to decide. Everybody wants you silent and acceptable for everything. So that's why when you say no, this goes against the expectations. So that's why it's so hard, Especially if you have themas around being or not being able to say no or yes, or defining your boundaries, So this is a thema that affects me, and that's why I'm working on that, and I can share the small and less ideas I have about my own experience. Thank you so much for being here. So let's go, because it goes even deeper. This is not just something that it's hard to say no, or it's hard to say yes, or even distinguish between both. It's because at the end, it doesn't matter if you want or not, you're going to get people is going to judge you about it. Yes, it doesn't matter how you do it or what you do or when you do it. It doesn't matter, because we have to deal with this. And I'm learning this in the last month, really strongly. People are going to talk about you. It doesn't matter what you do or if you do it well or not. So I'm dealing with this too. Because what happens if you share your story, what I'm doing, not just right now, but what I started 1 year ago, that I said to myself, I want to be more honest and I want to show up in the way I am, because I don't have anything to hold back and I don't have anything, I am proud, so that's why I share it. And if I am not proud, I can share that too. I am learning, so that's why I am progress. I'm a person in progress, so I'm mastering myself. That's why it's so nice that we can share our progresses, and that's why I always say, like, your story is important in the same way mine is. Why is this so hard? Why are we so triggered, like, oh, I don't want to tell anything on the online? And so it's because I read a post some days ago about the difference between an attention seeker and a support seeker. What does this mean? As soon as you put your story out, for real, I can tell you that there is going to be people, even your close friends, even your family, that are going to say to you, I hope not, but I can say, like, quite sure that there is going to be people who think, like, oh, she wants so much to be the point or the center of everything, and she needs so much attention. She wants to be a diva, or she just wants to be an influencer and she wants to get like 1 million likes. But so this is going to happen. This is going to happen, and we have to deal with that, because at the end, if you realize, this is really interesting, the difference between an attention seeker. This is what some other people is going to say about you, in case you want to pay attention to be able to share more your story. But at the end, you are not looking for attention. You are looking for support, and you are looking for explaining and making your story valuable. You know what I mean? Not for others. The value doesn't come from the expectation or the ability to accept your story from others. It's about you. If I can say it with my own voice, if I can put my fucking face in front of a camera and explain it while I'm talking alone, and I have all my courage to say my story is valid for me, at the end we don't have to care what others think. You know what I mean? So you just do the thing you have to do, because you truly feel good with this, or you are on the way to feel good, and that's why it's honest and it's true. So this is the only thing I care about. More than that, imagine if you share your story, there is always somebody who can connect with that, even though if they don't tell you, because really many people looks, but not many people tells you, like, wow, your story was so powerful, or I find it shitty. Nobody is really putting themselves in the point to tell you something. I'm going to leave it there, but yeah, people are going to think, like, really often, like, you are selfish because you share your story, or because you think your story is valid, and it's like, I don't look for validation from you. Or maybe there is people who will think, like, she makes this because she wants to have a space. Yeah, thank you so much. This is the fucking point. If I don't have a space for myself, it doesn't matter where. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe. The thing is that it's not just online. This is also behind the cameras and behind the cameras and behind everything. What do you do when you're alone? This is the point. I'm looking for fucking attention, or I feel like fucking empty when I'm alone, or I am trying to change my story. You know what I mean? I'm trying to change my perspective. So yeah, this is my point. I am trying to change my perspective, and that's why I feel it's so empower to be able to put it in words and to put it out in the world and see. It doesn't matter if this brings something or not, like followers. I would be really happy for that. But it's not just about that. It's also about to validate this for myself and to see that this is powerful for me. So, talking about community, how important it's to feel supported, not just with likes and so, but with people with whom you were not in contact before, and they think, wow, what happened to her happened to me too, or I take this new perspective to build my life, and this has helped me, or not so much, or I go to another way. So this is the most nice things, to be able to open our minds, Oh, I love that. I read a sentence some days ago, really important. I really like it, and I wanted to share it with you. It was like, if you don't have a community, or if you haven't found it yet, build it for you. So this is what I'm going to do, This is the process of making it. I don't fucking care, and I would really be happy someday if there is really many people who think, like, oh, I understand her ideas, or I support them. But at the end, if you don't start with yourself, in my opinion, there is nothing you can expect from the outside, you know? I mean something that it's true, not like fake friendship. And so I mean like really a community, a supportive community. I was thinking also, because I was really pissed when I got in the last days some messages like, why you do this, or how you do it, or why now, or why you talking like this, or why you, you know, like. And I thought, you know, this is about being honest with myself, and maybe you understand this too if you're watching this message. Thank you so much. But at the end, if you don't like what I say, why you hear it, or why you look at, you know? So maybe if you like this message, feel welcome, and it's for you in the same way it's for me, in case we can connect with these ideas. And because at the end, we don't have to do what other people want from us. You know what I mean? It's not so easy to take. It's a hard swallow pill. But I swear for God, if you don't do it today, or if you don't do it tomorrow, someday it's going to come. It doesn't matter if this is in 20 years or in 30 or the day before you die. I don't care, you know, on the time it's going to come to you if you don't do what the fuck you need or what the fuck you want. In my opinion, and I was not like this before, is everything lost. This is my opinion. If I don't do what I need, what it feels good for me, what it feels honest and truth, I feel really fucked up. So this is a process. It doesn't mean I am the most honest person in the world and you can trust me 100%. No, it means I am on my way to reach what I need to reach for myself, and if I can share this process with you, this is what it means. So, yeah, the last part of this video, topics about spiritual people, or what we call like people who is a little bit more deep or special because they talk about energy, or I don't even know, you know, there is people who think like, yeah, horoscopo, or even movement with your body, embodiment, expression, music. They think like we make that topic that we think that these people is really peaceful, or yoga all day long, and you know, like you're so spiritual. No, look, at the end, in my perspective and in my experience, the people who is spiritual or works, you know what I mean, in this kind of things like yoga or dance or body expression or whatever, I think it's a really hard profession, because you have to really know where you are at, how can you improve, and to improve sometimes take to leave people to the side and block people from your life, or having like really strong boundaries about what you want and what you don't want. And that's why there is people who takes it so bad, like, oh, and now you want to be like really different. Look, fuck, I don't want to be different. I want to be honest with myself, and my energy and how I manifest my energy around me is the only thing I care. So if there is some people who's trying to fuck you up, I don't mean it happens to you, but in case there is somebody with whom you feel like, you know, the taste when you interact with them, it doesn't matter if it's online or if it's in person, if you don't feel well, like for real, I really encourage you. It takes time for me too, but it's time to cut it, you know, because you don't deserve nobody who is bringing poison to your life just like this. If you are going to be honest with you, realize that there is going to be people who is not going to like it. First of all, because the people who don't like boundaries is because they don't have neither. So this is something I have learned in the last, I don't know, week, and I consider this a really strong message, and I wanted to share it with you because it's so important that we can find our own place, you know. I don't mean a place where you cannot move. Yes, for sure, you can move, and you are going to move because life is change. So as soon as you accept it and you see it, the better you are going to be really fluent. But if you don't have a ground, everybody and everything is going to be able to move you. So that's why I am on the way to look for how can I be more honest with myself. So this was the conversation of today. Thank you so much for being here. I would really appreciate if you like this conversation. Go to my Instagram site. I'm going to link it there somewhere. And let me know what you think about this. Does this happen to you, or do you have also people around you who judges what you do, or you feel uncomfortable because it's not so easy sometimes to be honest with yourself? This is not like flowers and roses